Good afternoon, my friends, and welcome to today's special edition of NWCR's Removing the Liberal Blindfold for this Tuesday, the 22nd day of December in the year of our Lord 2020. Yesterday I did this update and it never loaded. I couldn't get it to load to YouTube, so therefore it is on my computer, but will go no farther. So I am trying again, adding a few pertinent things. Today's Albuquerque Journal touts the great headline, all in caps, Congress approves $900 billion virus relief bill. Which is a farce because only $196.8 billion of it is going to the people who really need it, us. The rest is going to them. And for what? They did nothing but destroy the economy, our lives, our jobs, and other things. From Dan Bongino comes this one, my friends, as he is asking the same questions that we should all be asking. Congress was paid in full their salary for 2020 when they absolutely did nothing. But they're paying Americans they put out of work $600. This was written by John Hawkins and posted to Dan Bongino's show site. Have you heard the good news? Congress is doing another $900 billion stimulus bill, and the big selling point is that this time around they're sending you $600. Only half of what they paid us before when a lot of us got $1,200. Of course, that might not seem like a lot compared to the $221,000 that members of Congress made this year, but getting back to $600 that you paid in taxes is still $600, right? Let's break this down. Spike Cohen at Real Spike Cohen tweeted, 600 times 328 million equals 196.8 billion. This bill was for 900 billion, folks. Guess who is getting that other 700 plus billion? If you guessed them, you were right. Granted, it may not seem like much of a compensation for what the government has done this year. They forcibly shut down many small businesses and did it so long that they drove them out of business, prevented people from working, told them not to see their families, especially during holidays, and kept them imprisoned in their homes. But that is a small price to pay for $600, right? Especially since all those policies were so successful at stopping the coronavirus. Look at all the places where those draconian government policies completely shut the virus down. You know, like, well, there's probably one somewhere, right? John Hawkins at John Hawkins RWN tweeted, where we seem to be headed. Step 1. Politicians destroy the economy, overreacting to the virus. Step 2. Jobless rate highest in decades. Businesses go under. Step 3. Politicians offer money to people and businesses they bankrupted. Step 4. Politicians demand credit for saving the people they bankrupted. The plague of government has been worse than the plague of coronavirus. The moment our coronavirus came along, we were guaranteed to face a certain amount of trouble, and I will get to that one in a moment. In a country like America, that is a business and tourist hub where people are wealthy enough to travel widely, where the populace is famously independent, it was guaranteed that the virus was going to spread everywhere. Trying to prevent that was like trying to prevent the tide from rolling in. But the government did it anyway, and they're still doing it, despite the fact that it's clearly doing a lot of harm, and there isn't much evidence that it's doing any good. And now to remove the liberal blindfold here, folks. If that doesn't seem like a good idea, then you understand what the late great Ronald Reagan meant when he said, the most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. The trouble is, each time the government works hard to break its own arms, to pat themselves on the back, if we were actually watching what they are doing to us, we would rebel en masse. They try to make themselves feel good for helping the people out with a measly $600 while spending $900 billion and giving themselves most of that. When what should be brought out here is, without the taxes that they so greedily take from us, they wouldn't have enough money to pay their own salaries, which, by the way, are way too inflated for what they are doing. If they were really doing their jobs instead of trying to bankrupt the nation, maybe then people who are actually watching what is going on would maybe think they are getting paid fairly, but I kind of doubt that. But when they are working overtime to put all of us out of business for a virus that would have been gone by now if they had kept their controlling fingers out of it and away from things that they are not supposed to be putting their fingers into in the first place, healthcare is not part of their duties according to the Constitution. Controlling the population is not part of their duties according to the Constitution. Keeping us safe is one of their duties, but they have done a piss-poor job of that one too. Anything that seems to be good for this nation, they on the left control that right out of our reach. And they say it is for our own good. But it is nothing but keeping total control of the people. Another thing that is not their duty according to the Constitution. They are supposed to be nothing but employees of the people, not the other way around like they seem to think. That is another reason I always end my updates and my shows with what a friend of mine used to always say: we will not be ruled. But the way we are going, we are really allowing the government to do what they are not supposed to be doing, and if we don't stop that, America is in for some really tough times. 2020 is just a sample of what is coming if this isn't stopped, plain and simple. This is Robert the Infidel for today's NWCR's Removing the Liberal Blindfold from Behind the Silver Microphone of Freedom with the voice of reason in this increasingly unreasonable world, brought to you through Conservative Nation Media, where we fight to make sure that America always wins. Have a blessed day and God bless you all, and see you again tomorrow if this works today.